Hi, I'm John Seaman. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Data Moose. We work with nonprofits, helping them raise money by turning their data into donations and their insights into income. That's a question that I normally get is, wait a second, your logo has a dog on it, but you're called Data Moose. Well, Data Dog was taken for starters, and I wanted to name the company after something special, so we have a black lab named Moose, an English lab. And so, and it's actually worked out pretty interestingly where there's so many spin-offs of the word moose. So our products, I have a product called Moose Speak, where it's a natural language interaction with your data. Moose Scrub, which is cleansing your data. Guard Dog Cybersecurity, but my team, I call them Mooseketeers. We have Moose Sync. We have a whole bunch of different things. So it's a good name, and it's remembered well. So as legacy systems are going to the cloud, people who used to have access to their database, just like when there was a filing cabinet right next to their desk, they could reach in that cabinet and grab all their data. It was sorted, it was all in the same folders, it was accessible, and they had access to it when they needed it. As these legacy systems are moving up to the cloud, everything's now going through APIs or different ways to access the database, different databases. Not only now is the data scattered, it's siloed, it's some are in different formats, some have different keys to access the filing cabinets, the data. You have to make multiple trips to get all your data in one place, and by the time you do, sometimes it's stale. So what DataMoose does is we liberate organizations' data. We bring that data, we extract that data from whatever source it's in, whether it's a CRM, an ERP, a homegrown database. We load that data into a secure, centralized data platform. We protect it with our Guard Dog cybersecurity. We turn low fidelity, low quality data into high fidelity, high quality data that an organization can use for any AI use case or reporting use case. So, it just happens to be nonprofits that I focus on because I've been working with nonprofits for so many decades, and I have a passion for working with organizations. It's important that I make a difference while I'm making a living. So, what I'm trying to do is bring what Wall Street brought to the for-profit world to the nonprofit world. And really, I believe that an organization should have access to their most valuable asset, their donor data at all times, without having to pay extra for it, go through a complicated process, or wait for it to be sent to them. We're about to release datamoose.ai, which is the next generation of where we're taking from not just extracting and loading the data, but transforming it. And typically we work with organizations, and a good person at an organization might be a CFO. And the question is, what's keeping you up at night? And sometimes it's data security. Sometimes there's a gap between donations, actually expenses rising, and donations not keeping pace. Then throw on top of that all of the current administration, going being very specific about the types of organizations that are reliant upon government money are being defunded, the PBSs, the NPRs. So those organizations not only are experiencing that gap that everyone's experiencing between rising expenses and lower donations, but now couple that with these organizations that are mission driven, that rely on government grants and money, it's even worse. So in order for them to make up for that difference, they need to figure out a way to better engage with their current donors to ask for more. And if they do still qualify for the federal projects, their impact has to be proven in a much more direct and timely manner than they've ever had the ability to do before to keep that grant.